Hello, this is Dumont, and today we're going to review Transformers comic book issue number 10. The cover does not disappoint. The title is The Dawn of the Devastator. Very cool title. Of course, what more can you expect than the Constructicons combined in their form as Devastator, just beating up a bunch of Autobots. It's an awesome cover. This issue is quite interesting because it covers actually the origins of Devastator, which many Transformer reviewers on YouTube have already said many times that Devastator's origins differ from the comic book to the TV show to, it's always different is what they mentioned. So I'm going to try to explain that as we look inside. But first, one of the cool things, like I said, is the covers never disappoint, because the covers are so important in comic books. This is what's going to catch your eye on the stand, and this is what's going to make you pick it up. So far there have been excellent covers, very interesting. And also what I like about these comic books is that the advertisements, surprisingly enough, inside it comes with a bunch of advertisements, as you would expect. And remember, this is mid-80s, right? This is like 1985. And for example, this one says, "Bonkers, fruit candy, bonks you out of this world with a robot watch." Now, I remember this robot watch. Some kid in my class, a fellow classmate, actually had it, showed it to me, and lent it to me and stuff. And I remember thinking that it was awesome. That watch was really, really cool. By today's standards, it's the watch itself seems very poorly made, but the transformation, I think, still holds up. The transformation is great. I remember it being real springy, and it actually comes off of the watch. And the band was solid. It was a solid watch band. It wasn't like some cheap, bracelet looking thing. No, it was an actual watch band. And so I think it deserves a remake. It would be really, really cool if they just fixed the actual, because it was a working watch. So if they would fix that part and the rest, just keep it a legit wristwatch. And the transformation is simple, but like I said, it was very solid. It reminds me of Frenzy for some reason. This is just my recollection. Okay, so it had that. Over here, I see another advertisement inside. It says glow-in-the-dark posters, 3 for $3, looks like pre-Nintendo graphics, Just interesting stuff that reminds you of the era, and that's what I believe a lot of Transformer fans are, into Transformers, because it reminds them of what they were doing at the time when they were a kid, how life was different, the nostalgia, So anyway, let's move on into the issue. It's kind of cool because the birth of the Constructicons was basically under the mastermind of Shockwave, who uses the head of Optimus Prime. The creation matrix is somehow within Optimus Prime's head, and they were able to make the Constructicons just these non-organic, these metal electronic parts. They're able to make them come to life using the creation matrix, and they're saying that a few Transformers actually have that, Optimus Prime being one of them. Alright, so basically that makes Optimus Prime almost like, the granddaddy of the Constructicons, which is kind of cool. But like I said, this is under the command of Shockwave, who's forcing Optimus Prime to do this. And interesting enough, the next project that Shockwave wants Prime to do is to make JetFire. Yeah, so the JetFire is on the cover of the next issue, so that's going to be very exciting too. So that's just a preview real quick. But Prime, remember, Prime has actually passed on this creation matrix to a human, Buster Witwicky. So that's going to be, very interesting situation going on, because Shockwave has no idea, and Shockwave even threatens Prime, if you're not able to do this, I will eliminate you. There's no reason for me to keep you alive. And he had the Constructicons built so that they could make a humongous Decepticon base. I guess, instead of taking over the Ark, they just wanted to make a better, really large, nice Decepticon base. So back on the base, it seems like Prowl is the commander for the time being because Prime is not there. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Prowl kind of takes up the leader role. And so anyway, the Constructicons are taking up parts, and there's a lot of human interaction going on. It's not just a movie. It's even back then, here in the comic book, they're still doing it. So, I guess it's just to give it more flavor, So there is human interaction, which, whatever. I personally liked it when it was just the Transformers on Cybertron, not dealing with humans. I personally preferred that way. But anyway, there's human interaction going on, and Soundwave is trying to create this humongous, I don't want to say satellite, but basically he wants to phone home, kind of like E.T. phone home. And the Constructicons are creating these parts to create this massive interstellar telephone. And so that's pretty interesting. And the Autobots are trying to stop it. We have Bumblebee, Ironhide, I see Prowl, and Huffer. And Huffer is kind of like, he's kind of like the main character in this issue right now. And because of Huffer, they kind of fail. Huffer hesitates because he wants to do the same thing. He's homesick and he misses Cybertron. And he wanted to make a phone or a satellite dish thing to contact Cybertron himself. So when he sees that Soundwave did it, but just much better, he's like, I don't know if I want to destroy this thing. I want to do the same thing. But because of that hesitation, he allows the Decepticons to actually make this phone call home. So who knows what kind of Decepticons are going to be coming to Earth to aid in the Decepticons already here on Earth. So that's a massive mistake that caused by Huffer just being really hesitant.